Hello, my dear friends. Happy Aries season. In today's hopefully short video, we'll see how it goes. We're going to discuss the upcoming corridor of eclipses, which is going to happen on March 25th and April 8th. Corridor is the term that's used to depict that eclipses are always prolonged in action. There is always two eclipses in a row, and one of them is following the other. Since we have those two celestial bodies, both sun and moon, from the physical point of view, eclipses happen when both of the celestial bodies are located on the exact ecliptic trajectory, which creates the shadow. One celestial body overshadows the other. So you do not have to be an astrologer or have any knowledge in it whatsoever. It's just simple, pure physics right there. But you can also have an idea that eclipse seasons are always complicated. They're not easy for majority of people, and majority of people notice that there is a pattern happening. Eclipses happen around few times a year, sometimes even 3, but those times a year are always highlighted with some intense eventuality, with some intense events that people, they want it or not, unfortunately they cannot miss it. They somehow, some way, somehow we always get involved into that carousel of events. So on the example of the conflict between such countries as Israel and Palestinian conflict, it actually started when the eclipse season, the eclipses are always changing the sign after a while. So every zodiac sign has its opposite, right? The first zodiac sign is Aries, and the seventh is the Libra. They're exact polar opposites. They're polarity opposite principle. That's what they represent. Aries is a god of war. Aries represents me, myself, and I. All types of weapons, all types of things connected to war. Whether it's opponent, which is Libra, it's always about partnership. Libra is always about us. Libra is always seeing things through the eyes of love, through the eyes of creation. As you can guess, Aries is a masculine sign ruled by planet Mars. It's a masculine principle. When Libra is a feminine principle ruled by feminine planet Venus. So when those two signs changed, and eclipses usually happen for about a year, give it or take a few plus minus, but usually eclipses undergoing the whole cycle of a whole year in that particular axis of opposite zodiac signs. So when Aries and Libra changed signs, that's when the Palestinian-Israeli conflict started. And one of the biggest signature features of the collective energy is that a lot of people are experiencing their new outlook on relationships they're in, both romantic and business. A lot of people are trying to understand whether it's better for them to go solo in life or rearrange their relationship with their partners. And Libra and Aries are very helpful signs, and that's how this eclipse is going to be highlighted collectively for everybody. So the topics of relationships are going to be the most highlighted tabloid of this period of time. Again, the moon eclipse happens on the March 25th, and right after this, that's why it's called corridor. April 8th is going to be the finalizing eclipse, sun eclipse in Aries, which will give us more energy of action, because Mars is all about the action. Venus is more about the perception of beauty and reflection and understanding world through the eyes of your partner. Nevertheless, I also want to congratulate everybody who's Aries. It's your season, guys. It's your birthday season. Officially starts today. Spring equinox is actual, real astrological new year. So this is also a new year from astrology point of view, because Aries is a starter. Aries is that eternal child that wants to go and explore, like that troublemaker boy that no matter how many bruises or scratches he gets, he still gets up and goes and seeks for all sorts of trouble. And that amazing childish, in a good way of this word, not infantile, but childish energy should be in all of us, because Aries are the most adventurous people, at least that I've ever encountered. And energy of Aries is the energy of beginning. It's like spring is in the air, love is in the air. A lot of people are activating now after the winter, after the cold months of winter, regardless of whatever you are in the world, even in warm countries. Winter does have its certain coldness with it. But when sun, it's our most highlighted celestial body that radiates energy of vitality. When sun travels into Aries, that's when a lot of people start activating their inner urge for adventure, their inner desire to start something new. So collectively, sun in Aries is a really good time for new beginning. Although this video is about the eclipse, which I wanted to focus on, I still want to mention that we are having Mercury retrograde, which is happening on April 1st, April Fools. It's going to happen for like about 3 weeks plus 25 days, if I'm not mistaken. Just so you know, guys, majority of you, despite those whose Mercury was retrograde when they were born, for this you have to know your natal chart or your soul formula precisely. You can look it up online free of charge, anywhere on Google. But those of you who do not have Mercury retrograde, I highly suggest do everything that's important in regards to paperwork, important purchases, important airplane tickets, traveling, important arrangements. Do it before April 1st. Since April 1st, do not start anything new. I highly recommend to go back and reflect on what you already started. If you've been working on a project for a while, then Mercury retrograde is actually a good time to continue what you already started. It's the best period for education, for getting all types of courses, workshops, degrees, whatever you're doing as far as your careers, as long as it has to do with mental stimuli of yours. The Mercury retrograde period is great for that. Other than that, I do not recommend to start anything new, and do not sign any important papers. However, Mercury retrograde should be a separate video on its own, which I might make. Today, let's focus on the eclipse. This eclipse is also highlighted with relationship topics because the most gender or relationship planets, let's call them this way, Mars and Venus are also in a very interesting position. Mars is moving into Pisces on March 23rd, which is a few days from now, from the moment of recording this video. Mars was in Aquarius before, and so was Venus, but Venus moves faster than Mars. That's why Venus already entered Pisces on March 13, if I'm not mistaken. The energy changed completely. Aquarius is more about friendship. It's more about friends. It's choosing friends over romance. It's brainstorming together, genius ideas. It's having some kind of get-together masterminds, being super free, no strings attached. Aquarius do not want to be in committed relationships. They can be loyal people, but they just have to know they have that freedom. It's like one of those birds that you can never cage, and you should not. But the energy of Pisces is different. Pisces are longing for experiencing love with every cell of their body, whether it's physical love, physical union, intimate love, or spiritual union as well, if you will. Pisces are one of those people who have a very profound understanding of the divine. They are like embodiment of the divine in our zodiac circle, and everybody who has Pisces friends, they know those are the loving ones. Those are very kind people. Not all of them, of course. Everybody's very individual, but collectively, when the general planets such as Mars and Venus enter into Pisces, what happens? There's a mutual desire for loving union, for unconditional love. There is a lot of wisdom and depth in feelings awakening in both men, women, and all the partners and all the single people. A lot of single people are striving for union, and a lot of people in relationships are looking for something more profound than they already have, and they want to take their relationship, the current ones, onto more deeper level than it already was. So yes, although collectively the highlighted topic of relationship will be always up in the air, still every zodiac sign is going to have their own house where this eclipse is going to take place. So when we look for any astrological information, it's very important to know your own zodiac sign, of course, which everybody knows. It's the sun sign, but also it's very important to know your moon sign and your rising. So if you don't know yet, I highly suggest you Google it up, look it up online, put your date and time and city of birth, and you're going to have your natal chart and read truthfully. If you will have any questions, of course, you're very welcome to DM me and we can go through this together. And I do have a lot of services listed on my website, but we'll talk about it later. For now, for those who are interested in astrology, you have to know yourself. Otherwise, everything is not going to make too much sense to you. But once you know your main sign, which is your sun sign, your moon sign, it's your more of your emotional self, and your rising, which is how you appear in society. It's basically your rising. It's like a costume or outfit you're wearing when you go out. This is how other people think you are. Those three signs are good to relate to when I'm going to be mentioning the houses of the eclipse for every individual sign. By this, what I mean, again, your sign is the sun sign. That's where you were born. That's where the sun was on the moment of your birth. This is considered your zodiac sign. We have another 10 plus planets in the different signs. That's why I highly recommend you to watch one of my videos if you haven't seen it yet, which is called Don't Judge by Zodiac Sign. It explains more in detail that we are made of a lot of different energies. That's why it's so unwise to judge somebody by one sign alone. That's why we need to know our sun sign, our moon sign, which is our emotional body, right? And our rising. A moon sign and rising signs can be completely different from your sun sign. So you can check up all 3 or 4 of them. So for the sign of Aries, those of you who are Aries by the sun sign, this eclipse is going to be happening in your 7th house. 7th house originally is the house of Libra. It's the opposite house, right? Because Aries' house is 1st house, which is me, myself, and I. But Libra is the partnership house. It's the house of love. It's the house of relationships. People who are in the sign of Aries likely going to be experiencing a new insights in their current relationships if they have ones, or they're going to be having a very strong urge to be partnered with somebody, to create romance, to create an atmosphere of love around them, to take a look at their current business partners, maybe make some rearrangement in their stuff. So everything that has to do with 7th house is connected with relation to other people and learning how to make decisions based not only what's better for me, because that's what Aries usually like to do, me, myself, and I. What's better for me, it's better for everybody. That's what typical Aries thinks. But a Libra, you put a costume of a Libra on and you start thinking like a Libra this eclipse season, you guys. So you are going to be more soft, more flexible, more in your creative and feminine energies, if you will, and you will definitely be looking out for other people's interests, but your own. And I guarantee this is going to harmonize all of your relationships, both personal and business. Next, Taurus. If your sun sign is Taurus, if you are Taurus by the sun, moon, or rising, this eclipse season for Tauruses is going to happen in the 6th house. And the 6th house is a house of Virgo. So this is how we think. Here, we got to think logically. No matter what sign you are, when I say you're going to be going under certain house during this eclipse season, it means that house, which will be highlighted for specifically you sort of enter the house of that person. And by knowing the number sequences, as I mentioned, number 7, it's the house of Libra. Okay, everything you know about Libras, start putting it logically together. Now we move into Taurus. Taurus's eclipse season is going to be undergoing under the house number 6. 6th house originally is the house of Virgo. What do we know about Virgos? Very logical, mind over feelings, right? Super organized, very clean in all aspects of this word. For Taurus, it's a perfect season to rearrange your everything, starting from the shelves in your room, starting from taking unnecessary trash out from all of the surroundings where you live or where you work, literally cleaning up the place. Have a spring cleaning. It's going to help you organize your mindset, because clean surrounding is clean thoughts. Clean thoughts, more of a broad opportunities, both in financial, in personal, in all segments of life. House of Virgo, which is the 6th house, it's also house of health and work. Those 2 areas of life are going to be super important. And those 2 areas of life are going to be probably the most important aspects for Taurus this eclipse season, because Virgos are people who are finding their romance in a great organization of everything that they do. And most of the people spend most of their day at work. And if we don't have health, if we're not satisfied with our health condition, nothing makes us happy, neither relationship nor money. If the health isn't in order, if the physical body's needs are not met, then nothing else matters, right? So it's very important house, and I wish everybody who has Taurus in their charts, whether it's sun, moon, or rising, I wish you guys to establish the best relationship, start a new healthy habits. Maybe quit something you've been longing to quit for a while. By the way, eclipses is the best time to quit smoking, and that one is not easy. I know how addicting it gets, and how I spent many years smoking cigarettes before, which I don't miss. And what helped me quit? I quit on the right time. I quit on one of the eclipses and never touched those ever since. So if you want to quit some bad habits, perfect timing. If you want to start a new healthy routine, perfect timing. Next, Gemini. For Geminis, this eclipse season is going to undergo through house number 5. And house number 5 is the house of Leo. It's the most fun house of all, honestly. It's Leo's house. 5th house is the house of party. It's the house of good mood. It's the house of romance. It's the house of play. It's the house of going out and checking out all this fun stuff that's happening in the city. It's the house of children. And children are very playful by nature, right? They can play with anything. They can impersonate anything, any object that's not alive. If it comes and lands in the hand of a child, that object becomes alive, just as magic, right? So Leos are very, very passionate natures. Leos are very loving, very romantic sign. People with Leo's energy are always the stars. Wherever they come, everybody notices them, because you just can't help but wonder who's that superstar who just walked in the room. But of course, Leos have a lot of downsides like ego and stuff. But we're not going to go into negative this time. We're just going to highlight that house of Leo, right? We're talking about Geminis, just to return you guys back on track. Geminis will experience a lot of Leo's energies this eclipse, because house of Leo is the house where your soul is so done with the boredom, with the routine. You want an adventure. You want a romantic adventure together. You want to start putting yourself out there. You want to start showing up for people. So those Geminis who are bloggers, who are doing some kind of creative work that involves attention from other people, whether it's online, it can be blog, it can be public speaking, motivational speaking, it can be all types of resources that help you get your point across through the masses of people. You guys are going to have amazing career shifts. Literally, the Leo's house are going to be super helpful for you guys who are Geminis and who want to start a new career in, or maybe want to just take your career to a new level. Please, marketing. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Take this opportunity because it doesn't happen too often. And of course, make some room for romance, because a lot of karmic meetings are very likely for Geminis this eclipse season. Not only for Geminis, but Geminis are so ready for love. They've been longing for it, and now it's time. Be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. So, Cancer. Next sign is Cancer. People who have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this eclipse season are going to be right in your own house, which is fourth house. Fourth house is a house of Cancer. So Cancer are pretty much one of the, Cancer and Capricorn are the only two people who are going to feel very like home this eclipse season. While everybody else is going to be having a lot of, emotional swings, I want to say. Cancer and Capricorn are going to be the only one who will be stabilizing this eclipse. And I'm going to tell you more in detail in a second. Hello, everybody. Hi, guys. Hi, I'm so happy that you are watching. Nevertheless, you're going to have this recorded. I'm going to save the recording so you guys will be able to rewatch it again. For those of you who want to know how the eclipse season is going to happen for each zodiac sign, I highly recommend to stay tuned or watch it later. And thank you guys. I appreciate you watching. Anyways, back to Cancer people. Cancer, house number 4. That's your own house. Where do we feel the best? When we're home, right? We know where is everything. We know where the spoons, where our, dishes, and a lot of other objects that we use on the daily. That's how we feel the most safe. House number 4 has a lot to do with your family. That's a house of family. Cancer is the only sign that's ruled by the planet Moon. Moon is not really a planet, it's a celestial body, but Moon is responsible for the waters of the world, ocean, and we know all this from physics, right? Or those who live by the big bodies of water, such oceans or seas, surely notice that there's a certain time of the day when there is a tide. I forgot how it's called in English. Forgive me. It's not my first language, but it just doesn't come to me right now. But basically, when you go at the ocean and this whole area is wet, so you knew the wave was there before, but now at this time, the wave goes backwards, right? Or sometimes like when you go by the water and the water starts coming up to you so quickly and it wettens your clothes or shoes, whatever you're in, and leaves a lot of area that was dry before. The sand that was dry gets covered with water, right? I mean, I'm sure you understand what I mean. But Moon is responsible for the big bodies of water. Water, from esoteric point of view, we have the cross of the elements, right? We have water, fire, earth, and air. Water, it's our emotional body, it's intuition. Cancer people are very intuitive by nature. Some of them are more stable emotionally than the others. Well, it is what it is. But Cancer are the most family-oriented people out of all. They have the best relationships with when they build family anywhere they go, whether they're at work, whether they're with friends. Cancer people just know how to make that beautiful family vibe, whatever they come into, because they just bring that energy with them. It's a very motherly energy. So people of the zodiac sign Cancer who are going to be experiencing this eclipse season in the 4th house of Cancer likely will have some rearrangements or changes made in their family. Maybe something will have to do with your mother or mother figure in your family. Maybe you'll be visiting your mother, or your mother will be visiting you, or your aunt, or anybody from the female parts of your family. Maybe you will be arranging visas for them and vice versa, visiting each other. Maybe you will be repairing your house, like, because Cancer is a house, right? House of home. So very likely you are gonna want to rearrange the dwelling you live in, your living conditions. Likely there's gonna be some changes. And of course, it's very important to spend more time with family this eclipse season. Call them. If you haven't spoken to somebody, don't hold back. Just call them, ask how they're doing. You know, life gets in the way. We all get busy, blah, blah, blah. Yes, school, work, relationships, whatever. But family is family. Family comes first. So for Cancer people, that will be the most highlighted house of the eclipse season. Next, on to the Leo. Leo are going to have eclipse season in the 3rd house. 3rd house is a house of Gemini. House of Gemini is, first of all, house of school, house of continuing education. Geminis are ruled by Mercury, just like Virgos, so they're highly logical in their own way. Geminis are very smart people, generally speaking, right? Because their appetite towards consuming more information is even higher than Scorpio's appetite for sex. It's just a joke, but every joke has a piece of truth, right? Everybody has own temperament for both intimacy and consumption of information. For some people, it's enough to read 1 book a year. And for some people, even 1 book a day, it's not enough. They can't get enough of it. They just addicted for knowledge, for bettering themselves, and Geminis are one of those people in regards. However, we do speak about Leos right now. Just pay attention here. Leos are going to experience a lot of Gemini energy during this eclipse season. Leos are going to find themselves in the position that they want to start blogging finally. They want to start writing that book. They want to start that project that had something to do with the intellectual side, right? They want to put themselves out there. They want to sign that contract. They want to travel to those places. Traveling is more of a Sagittarius area of expertise, but Geminis are more about short travels, somewhere where it's, not too far away, but Geminis love to change the surroundings. They just love to, I admire how changey they are, because for a lot of people, it's really hard to get out of their shell. A lot of people prefer stability. They like to go and take the same route to work every day. They like to go and buy the same groceries in the same grocery store. But Gemini's favorite word is change of plans. And you better remember this. Leos, remember the Gemini's approach. Use Gemini's approach to life as your fuel that will spark the fire in you, and think like a Gemini. Act like a Gemini. This eclipse season, I guarantee you're going to succeed in a lot of your endeavors, because it's time to measure up a new suit. And Gemini's suit, it's never the same. It's like one of those suit surprises when you wear one thing and then all of a sudden you take it off and it's a completely different color underneath. That's the suit that typical Geminis like to wear. And I know Leos looking amazing in anything they wear, but try something. And also, I want to remind you, friendly reminder, since Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury goes retrograde on April 1st, and it's going to be retrograde for over 3 weeks, I highly suggest you be extra careful when signing any documents, any papers, and so on and so forth. Be mindful, and who is warned, that one is forearmed. So next is Virgos. Virgos, this eclipse season, are going to experience more of a second house. Second house is a house of Taurus. Taurus has everything to do with, first of all, your resources, what you own, what you possess. It's your money, if you will. It's your bank account. It's your way of stabilizing the daily routine. It's the way of how you put together the debit and credit, how you calculate your expenses and your spendings, how you manage your finances, how you invest, how you multiply. Taurus is a sign of earth. Earth has a lot to do with feminine energy. It's like to possess, it's like to collect. Like for Mother Earth makes no difference. We all are her children, yeah? Both humans, both birds and cats and dogs and all other animals, right? So that level of love, a really, really high unconditional level of love, it's a motherly love to a child. And this is what Taurus should strive to. So back to Virgo. Virgos are going to experience somewhat unconditional love this eclipse. They're going to turn their gaze from me, myself, and I being selfish and doing everything that's beneficial to me, because that's what Virgos like to do. They usually calculate very well. They're really good at calculation themselves. But when they're going to encounter Taurus, they're going to be even better. And Taurus is, okay, so there are literally many ways of living through your sign. Some of them are on the lower level, some of them are on the middle level, and some of them are on the higher level. So lower level Taurus will be very jealous, possessive person who is, known for money grabbing and wanting to take everything out of everybody and keep it to himself and lock it under the 7 locks and never change anything, right? Those features doesn't sound too good, do they? Yeah, although a lot of people live like that. But Taurus with a higher level of consciousness, upgraded Taurus, I want to say, those people are very good in material realm. They have a lot of money, but they're not attached to it. They understand that money come and money go, but your mindset, that's everything. That's what makes you make more money. That's what makes you have more opportunities. This is how you create resources out of thin air. This is how you have a seed, and once you plant it, you have a beautiful tree next year, right? So this is how you can manifest life from nothing. And people with highlighted Taurus skills, they're really good with plants. First of all, they're really good with their garden or whatever they have in the front yard of their house, if they have a house, or if they don't have a house, like let's say they live in an apartment, they can make a really beautiful balcony right there, put a lot of plants. And plants also, they're green color because of the chlorophyll and all that. We're not going to go into biology here, but plants are very much connected with money. In Feng Shui, in Oriental teachings about rearranging your living space in accordance of 4 elements, place where you have a lot of greenery, it's like a money magnet place. And those people who know it, and Virgos who are curious to knowledge, all the aspects, should definitely know it and think about rearranging their living space in order to attract more abundance in their life. Maybe put more green plants in their room or in the patio where they live. Basically, Virgos, this eclipse season, you gotta put on a suit of Taurus and think like Taurus. If you want to succeed, if you want to expand your own resources that you already have, go ahead and try out the strategy that Taurus does on the daily basis. And I guarantee you're gonna achieve the best results. Okay. On to the next. I was trying to make this video short, but I can't. There's so much information I want to share with you guys. But okay, let's try to wrap it up to the point. Straight to the point. Libras, you're the heroes. You're highlights. You're like the main actors of this whole eclipse play. Your eclipse season is happening in your first house. And the first house is actually house of Aries. And you see how like Aries and Virgo, they change spots. For Aries, the eclipse season is going to happen in the 7th house of Virgo. For Libras. For Libras, the eclipse season is happening in the 1st house of Aries. First house is a question. What am I? Who am I? You're going to reflect psychologically a lot this season. You're going to understand what are your real senses in life. You're going to be able to sort out truths from lies. Lies is something that's imposed on us by the society we live in. Ever since we were children, there was a certain algorithms the society wanted us to follow. But is this your true sense? Is this your true longing? Do you really want what society thinks is good for you? Do you really think you need to be married by a certain time and have a child by a certain time and have a career in 10 degrees by a certain time and have a house with a certain number of bedrooms and bathrooms? You know what I mean? Like, do you really have to follow that standardized model of life, of so-called successful life? Think about it. Sit down with yourselves and reflect. You, Libras, are the heroes of this eclipse season. And for you, it's going to be very, very mind-blowing, very mind-changing. Try to take yourself somewhere where is a place of power. Place of power are natural places, of course. Places where there's a lot of natural elements such as trees, maybe waterfall, maybe ocean. Wherever you live, no matter where you are in the world, I'm sure there is some green, beautiful place everywhere where you can feel at peace, when you can ground, preferably take your shoes off and connect with the earth and imagine how there's, roots coming out from the soles of your feet and penetrating deep into the earth, and connect with it for a few minutes and try to find your own sense. Try to see what really important for you and go there, no matter what it is. Even if society is going to think, oh, it's crazy, like, why you want to, I don't know, travel the world and not buy a house like everybody and not have a standardized life like everybody. But if that's what you want, that's what you want. And you only have one life here, at least in this body, in this incarnation, right? So treat your body with love, with respect. Only spend time with those who truly motivate you, with whom you feel happy. Rearrange your relationships. Think about for yourself, because usually, Libras, you are more than anybody. Think about everybody but yourself. Put everybody else first. It's just your nature. You're givers. But this eclipse season, try to change the suit. Put on a suit of an Aries for one moment and try to think what's important really for you. And you're going to be blown. Like, your mind is going to be blown away how much you are missing out. Because answering honestly, being honest with yourself is the hardest thing ever. We can be honest with other people, but with ourselves, just give yourself that permission. And once you give yourself that permission, I guarantee you're going to look at yourself differently. Your life is going to start changing. Try to do every day something, at least one thing that you love. Give yourself 5-10 minutes or whatever, how much you got. Give yourself that permission and do what you truly love. And this is addicting. Self-love is your number one motto of this eclipse season. Okay, on to the Scorpios. For Scorpios, this eclipse is going to be happening in the 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of Pisces. 12th house is very mysterious house. House of water, house of mist, house of twilight, house of mystery that wants to be discovered, right? Scorpios are very secretive by nature, and they're smart, actually. Scorpios are really smart because they do not consider necessary to let everybody know what their plans, right? They're just doing it. We all have that friend that you never know where they get the money from, but somehow they're traveling all over the world, right? Like, it's like a really Scorpio thing to do. Like, they're just doing their thing. They're great at minding their own business. And they're just freaking amazingly doing what they love to do, like real Scorpios. I mean, those Scorpios who are not afraid to be themselves. I mean, there's a lot of people that still haven't gotten to that perfect version of them, but a lot of people, like, the work is in progress. So, by the way, Libras, step back. Take example from Scorpios as well, because Scorpios are ones who are actually walking that talk. They're actually doing it. However, at this eclipse season, Scorpios are going to find out something that was hidden. And Scorpios are really good Sherlock Holmes, I want to say. Like, they're really good at, like, investigating. And House of Pisces is a very confusing house. It can confuse even the most auspicious cops, I don't know, FBI agents. But like, if you will think for a second, how much fun is it to play this game called life, to try to unveil that riddle of the Sphinx, try to penetrate deeper than you ever been, because Pisces are all about that depth, all about that profundity in everything in life. And you're gonna find some information that's been hidden. You're definitely gonna want to know more. It's a really good time for psychology. Pisces is also a house of psychology. It's house of music. It's house of religion. Please be careful right here. Don't get swept away. Treat religion as an instrument, is as a source of knowledge, additional, without fanaticism, without narrow-mindedness, and enjoy diving very deep into the manuscripts. Those manuscripts, the Holy Scriptures, if you want, those amazing manuscripts with hidden secrets of life and how the universe is woven of. And take some time for reflection, take some time for psychological questions. Ask yourself if you're happy with your life, where you're going, where you want to be, and see if you can build a plan how to get from point A to point B. But not always our plans is God's plan. Sometimes God's plan is far better than we ever imagined. So allow the space to take you. Like element of water, people with element of water are very intuitive. So sometimes they don't understand why they're doing certain things, but then later on they understand and they realize that following their intuition was the best idea they ever had in their life, because it took them exactly, precisely where they need to be. Okay, Sagittarius. My dear adventurous Sagittarius, for you, this eclipse season is going to be going in the 11th house. 11th house is the house of Aquarius. So logically, what we do here, everybody who's a Sagittarius or has sun, moon, or rising in Sagittarius, try on a suit of Aquarius. The most unusual, the most odd, weird, or however you call it, suit. But Aquarius is all about this collective. It's all about the friendship. It's all about this brainstorming together. It's all about new gadgets. Having many steps back forward. Not afraid to embrace new opportunities such as artificial intelligence. Try out new platforms. Try out something new, some new opportunities that lay within the online businesses that you never thought about. Try out something futuristic. Aquarius is all about breaking those unoperative old systems that no longer working. Out of all signs, this eclipse season, you're allowed to be a rebel. Be a rebel, do something crazy, because Aquarius are all about that freedom that nobody else has. All air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, they're all biggest freedom lovers. But bigger than Aquarius, nobody is, honestly. So try on that free spirit that Aquarius is possessed by default. Plan your next trips accordingly. Try to incorporate new innovations in the way your finances flow to you. Think about something that's beyond the usual comprehension of things and allow yourself to be a step ahead of everybody else, because Aquarius is all about that future technologies. Talk to your other friends who are very into technology, who are very into online. Think about how to expand your career online. Think about how to marketize whatever you're selling. If you're selling anything, great. It's more about, it's more of a financial advisory here. When it comes to relationships, out of all, Sagittarius usually have friends everywhere in the world. That's how they get to travel. And a lot of people think, how do you do this? How do you travel to all these places? Where do you get the money from? But that's the thing, when you know how to build relationships with people and you bring value to other people's life, you bring wisdom, people want to have you around. People will be willing to help you, during your travels. If you're a really good friend, if you're that type of friend which not only calls when needs something, but contacts just because. Not only when you need or feel bad, but also when you feel good. And if you can share that authenticity with other people, learn how to be a good friend this eclipse season. Take time and reflect. Were you a good friend in the past and whatever years of your life? And take your friendships on a new level, because Aquarius is a house of friendship, first of all. And that's what Sagittarius will have to go through this eclipse season. Next, our dear Capricorns. So Capricorns are one of those few signs, along with Cancer, whose eclipse season is going to be in their own house. And Capricorn's house is 10th house. 10th house is a house of status, is the house of career. Think about, dear Capricorns, have you achieved status which you want in life? It can be both in your career and in your relationships if you have any. Think about the status of your partner if you have one. Think about the status you would like to get and you would like to give. If you are a business owner and you have many employees, for example. Think about rearranging the management group. Think about a new supervisor, or maybe delegating some of your responsibilities, because Capricorns are one of the most hardworking people I've ever met and that have actually ever existed. And it's a collective. It's absolutely unexplainably strong people, unexplainably in a way that Capricorns can carry that load that nobody else would even try to, because they do have that capacity. They do have one quality that nobody else does in such big scale. It's discipline. Capricorns teach us all to be disciplined, to be very committed, I want to say. Committed to idea, committed to your goals. Those are the most admirable people by me, honestly, because my rising is in Capricorn, so that's the suit I wear in society, and a lot of people think I am one. Actually, people think a lot of things about me, and they don't guess me often, because we do not judge by one zodiac sign. We have a lot in us. We're like a big cake with multiple layers. Although it's a topic for another video. Back to Capricorns. You're going to be in this authentic house of status, house of career. For you, this eclipse will definitely put the highlights on how happy or not you are in your life, what position you're occupying in your life, in your job, in your career. Maybe there's going to be any extra steps you need to take. Analyze the point A you're currently at and the point B where you're longing to go. And you will definitely have amazing ideas on what steps to undertake to get from point A to point B. Write down your goals. You don't even have to write them. I know you Capricorns are very smart. You guys have all your goals right here in your computer. But still, there was one interesting, I think it was a Roman, not soldier, it was a Roman general. Maybe it's Marcus Aurelius or somebody else. I came across this person with a very interesting history who said, whatever is not on paper does not exist in nature. Basically, everything that's on paper has existence in nature. And it's one of those amazing philosophical thoughts that makes us think, I can achieve anything I want, really. Like, really, all I need to do is to picture it clear in my head. And this is when a matrix comes and helps you. This is when matrix will even as your friend. Matrix is not your enemy. Matrix just have its own game and its own rules that you gotta respect in order to be allowed in this playground. But Capricorns, you're a living example of success. A lot of people look up to you. Do not disappoint everybody. Even if you feel weak, even if you feel abandoned, whatever you might be feeling, a lot of people experiencing a very big amount of negative emotions during eclipse seasons. Think about bigger picture. Life gives you the lessons which you need to overcome, because you're like a goat that jumps and hikes higher each time. The higher you jump, the higher is your capacity to jump next time. You are the people who climb Everest and conquer it. You are definitely the ones who everybody else looks up to. If it's not you, then who else? So please, follow your heart. Follow your goals, no matter what. And when life gives you lots of lemons, you make the lemonade and you sell it for much more, and you get rich. It's a classic example of the way Capricorn thinks. They're really good. Like Taurus and Capricorn are probably the best two when it comes to knowing how to multiply their resources. All the earthly signs are really good with material, with matter, with finance. Virgos, Taurus, Capricorn, those are people to look up to. Those are people to learn from. So I wish Capricorns this eclipse season to rearrange the statuses in your life for both personal and professional, and to achieve that status that you're longing for. Aquarius. Aquarius, my dear friends, your eclipse will be happening in the 9th house. And the 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. That's the funnest, one of the funnest of all houses. That's the kindest, the most kind sign of all. Honestly, I love Sagittarius. I mean, I love everybody. There is something special about everybody, but Sagittarius are one of those people. They're just pure joy. They're pure optimism. They can be going through so much crap in their life, but they're still going to have the smile on their face, and they're always going to know everything is going to work out. I know everything happens for the best. And isn't it amazing? So, my dear Aquarius friends, this time it's time for you to try out the mindset of a Sagittarius, which knows that their arrow wants to be shot as far as possible. They want to invade as many territories as possible, just like all fire signs. All fire signs have that masculine principle in them. They want to chase what's not easily available to them. That's what makes it more desirable, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be about relationships or opposite sex. It can also connect with those bucket list of yours, those places which, oh, it's so expensive. How am I going to get to Switzerland? How am I going to, just an example, right? But guess what? Out of everybody, Sagittarius will get anywhere they want, because there is no such place on earth where they cannot get, where when they shoot their arrow, it strikes exactly where the shooter means it to strike. And that's a real Sagittarius. It's the person who is very wise by nature, the world's philosophers, the world's sharpest critics. Yes, but also the power of your optimism is going to take you anywhere you want, because Sagittarius house, it's all about expanding your consciousness. It's all about traveling, immigration, yes, but it's all about searching for the truth, learning from the best. Sagittarius are eternal truth seekers, and that's fact. And they're not stopping. Like that case when I know that I don't know. I think Socrates once said it. That's a super accurate description of the Sagittarius house. So this eclipse season, you guys, Aquariuses, know that you don't know. Acknowledge that. And please, be kind. Be kind to yourself. First of all, be kind to others. And it might get you by surprise how many opportunities lays in outside of the borders of your usual perception. I mean, out of all signs, Aquarius have least problems with being not flexible. They're actually very flexible people. They're actually really easygoing, like really easygoing. You know, everybody has that one friend who will be down for whatever. and that's an Aquarius. But this time, this eclipse for you will have a very positive effect, because it's going to be in a really positive house of Sagittarius, and I wish it's going to bring you all the blessings it withholds. And I wish you, Aquarius people, to travel anywhere you want this year and start planting the seeds of your further adventures right now, this eclipse season, March 25th through April 8th. And our final, last but not least, our final sign is our beautiful, dreamy philosophers, Pisces people, loving Pisces people. For you guys, this eclipse season is going to happen in 8th house. And 8th house is the house of Scorpio. House of Scorpio is not only a house of intimacy, not necessarily physical intimacy. It can be intimacy with yourself, with what you want in life. It can be intimacy with your relationship with the divine, with the unknown, with the intangible. It can be that state of mind and body when you allow yourself to feel what you feel and you trust yourself 100%, and you know that your body language is always looking out for your highest interest, just like the best lawyer. So that best lawyer always looking out for you. Your body is like your lawyer. Trust it. 8th house is the house of mystery as well, house of sexuality, house of other people's money. 8th house is house of money as well, just like the second, but 8th house is more about other people's resources. There's a time and place for everything, and there is a karmical things that always play the role, that sometimes there are karmical laws that are not easily explained, and not a topic of a 1 hour or more video. But for Pisces, this eclipse season will be putting all the I above dots, or all the dots above I. Forgive me if I said it incorrect. Like, basically, you guys will be able to see through what you overlooked before. You will be able to penetrate in the deeper mysteries of your own life and understand why it is the way it is. You will be more prone to psychic connections, psychic inclusions, just like Scorpios. By the way, Scorpios will be in the house of Pisces this eclipse season, and house of Pisces is a clairvoyant house. It's not like Virgo. It doesn't calculate debit with credit. It does not use logic half of the time. It only uses intuition, and its intuition just as powerful as logic for the Virgos or Geminis, right? So for you guys, for Pisces, the 8th house will be your, it's going to be like that navigating star at night. It's going to help you move across the mountains, follow your heart, follow your predestination. Even my crystal fell off. I love this one. I love this. Sacred geometry is one of the most amazing, fascinating topics to me. So, sacred geometry, speaking of it, think about expanding your horizons, expanding your knowledge about those secretive, mysterious things that happen in the world. Like one of those documentaries that fully astonishing. And for Pisces, it's going to be the time to penetrate deeper into the mysteries of the universe through the 8th house of Scorpio accordingly. And of course, back to what I mentioned, the karmical inclusion. Sometimes karmically, people are paying us some debts, or we pay some debts. It's a topic for another video. But karmically, pay attention about incoming of money into your life. Some people willingly help you financially. It can be your family, your partners, your friends. And some people are taking finance from you at certain periods of life. Pay attention to those patterns, and you might just understand the karmic reasons behind it. And also, I wanted to mention something important. Yeah, Pisces and everybody else, I wish you the most amazing eclipse season. I wish you the most amazing fruitful realizations. May all your intentions, everything you intend to happen, come true as soon as possible. And I want you guys to remember that eclipses, it's a very strong energy. So eclipse starts a week before, and its action continues even a week after, sometimes even more. So basically the week before March 25 and the week after April 8, this whole period of time, pay attention who you meet, pay attention who you see in your dreams. Write down your dreams. This is very, very auspicious period of time that you do not want to miss. It's going to help you to literally get up on a new level that you never dreamed about being in your life. It will touch everybody. It's not going to work for people who do not want to work on themselves and just sit down in the shadow. It doesn't work like this, guys. Not when eclipse season is on. I can guarantee you this. Also, maybe it's not the best time to make the most important decisions in regards to relationships, because a lot of couples are going to break up this eclipse season, and a lot of people are already breaking up. So take your time. Don't jump into conclusions just yet. Just watch, just observe the space around you. Just observe if your relationships will take any other course that you maybe wanted them to take. Or maybe you will notice some other interesting things about your partners that you didn't know before. Let the eclipse take care of it. Let the eclipse highlight everything that's been hidden. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. Breaking up, it's a tough position to be in. Sometimes it's very necessary. Sometimes it cannot wait if there is like a super toxic dynamics in relationships. But if that's not the case, then don't rush to jump into that conclusion. And like I said, let the eclipse highlight the hidden moments. Also, there's going to be, some other inclusions of some other transits of the planets. I'm not going to list them all because there's going to be a lot of activity in the sky this eclipse season, but one of them will be conjunction of Saturn and Venus. And Venus, it's our house of love and finance. And Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. It's like one of those annoying tax guys who is not going to leave you alone until you pay them, It's like Saturn likes to make order anywhere it comes into. Anywhere it touches, it likes to make their own rules and rearrange something. Sometimes it even happens for the better. Something that has been disorganized, Saturn likes to organize it. So likely this eclipse, there are going to be some situations created where penalties will have to be paid. All types of penalties. Penalties for not following your predestination. Penalties for still having bad habits. Penalties for infidelity, if there is any amongst partners. Penalties for all types of bad patterns, bad in a way that they don't serve you good. You still having bad habits, you still having, some kind of things that pull you back instead of moving you forward. And the penalties are going to be start flying out like tickets for parking, like some tickets for parking in a bad spot in a rush hour. Watch out, because Saturn is not like a kind Jupiter that gives presents to the right, to the left, like a Santa Claus. Saturn, like I said, it's that annoying tax guy. You are not gonna, you're not gonna be left out if there is something in your life that's still not in order, whether it's health, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's any other life segment. Pay attention with everything that's happening around you. Focus. People you're meeting. During eclipse, it's better not to get married or get divorced, by the way. Eclipse dates are not the most favorable times for those who didn't know, because eclipse has a tendency of prolonging the situation. So it can make a mark on the event that's going to have a very long timeline, Know what I mean? Like, for example, people who start a divorce process on March 25th to April 8th are likely going to have this nasty divorce for a very long time, and nobody wants that, right? So important decisions such as, marriage, such as terminating of the marriage, such as starting new business, those important decisions have to be made on a more favorable dates. And I hope this, guys, was very instructive for you. Probably you will have to watch it several times. And please don't hesitate to comment anything you have in mind, any experience of yours. Please comment here after the eclipse. I want to know how it's going to go for all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And for any personal questions that you might have, for anything that interests you on a deeper level, I'm offering soul formula decoding sessions. For those who don't know me yet, it's an astropsychology method. It's a blend of astrology and psychology. I have one of our soul formulas for today. That's how it looks. And those numerous people who already got their soul formulas decoded, they're swamping my DMs with a lot of messages full of gratitude, how much it changed their life for the better, how much more they learn about themselves, and how much it helped them to make the most auspicious dates favorable. There's a lot of instruments that I offer. A lot of them are listed on my website. And for those of you who guys want personal guidance, blend of astrology, psychology, soul formula decoding sessions available, tarot card reading sessions available, oracle cards reading sessions available, lovely Norman card sessions readings available, dream interpretation sessions, and a lot more, as well as for those of you who want to learn how to read tarot. I am an author of Archetypal Psychology course, which is available. It's about 40 video lessons online that you can study with your own pace and turn your hobby into income. I hope you guys find it entertaining, instructive, and I'll see you on the next video. Happy eclipse season. Bye bye.